Oh god, they delayed Shadow of War. What are we gonna do with our lives? I have nothing to do this summer now. It's gonna be terrible. I'm kidding. It's gonna be fine. Everyone settle down. Good god. God, people. I haven't even looked at people's responses to this, to be honest. I assume there are some people that are overreacting to it, but if you are, slow your roll. Settle your jimmies, you know? Get some pants back on. You don't need to tear them off whenever something that you don't like happens, if you're doing that. Okay, so what happened, I believe yesterday? Yeah, it says yesterday on the webpage I'm looking at right now. Andy, the community manager for Monolith Productions, he put up a post saying that Shadow of War has now been delayed until October 10th. It was originally supposed to come out in August of this year, so that's about a 2-month delay, and people are probably a little bit scared about that. What does that mean for the game? It probably means there's a few bugs and stuff that they need to iron out, and they feel like having those extra few months is going to improve on the product. So I think overall this is kind of an okay thing. I'm someone that's usually in favor of games getting delayed because in my mind, if they're actually taking the time to delay them, that probably means they're going to fix some things that would be a big hindrance on it if it were to be released in the original time frame. So hopefully that means that there are bugs and stuff that they can get out. So they can improve performance on, say, the PC version, the port version. That'd be awesome if they can do that. Possibly smooth out a few of the graphics as well. Usually about 2 months isn't enough time to like overhaul graphic systems and stuff, but it's not like that department's gonna be sitting on their hands doing nothing. So hopefully they can kind of put a bit more detail into at least some of the textures, like on the orcs especially. That's been something that I've been saying. That's like my biggest caveat with what we've seen of the game so far, is that I feel like some of the art and some of the graphical fidelity in the game just isn't quite up to snuff. Of course, that was probably alpha footage, but still, it's something that I've been talking about. However, it's more than likely they're just trying to smooth out performances so they can possibly hit 60 frames. I don't know if the game's coming out in 60 frames or not. I would hope it is. You got 2 extra months. Make sure your game runs in 60 FPS on consoles and PC. That's a thing that I think everyone really wants. So hopefully they iron out a few things like that and any other issues they might have with it. But I think the one thing that people are concerned about, and I am kind of too, is that moving it from August until October, that kind of creates a problem, because that is like the peak video game season. That's when all the big releases come out, that October through early December period that sees your yearly Call of Duties, your Battlefields, your Battlefronts, your Assassin's Creeds, your Far Cries. All those big releases, they generally come out right before the Christmas season, and they really drive sales. So we saw it with Titanfall 2 last year. That game came out in the wrong time of the year, in my opinion, and it really hurt its sales. In fact, it was going up against Battlefield 1 from the same publisher, so, you know, that might not have been the smartest move, and because it wasn't like the big AAA release, it did really get hurt sales-wise. And now, while the original Shadow of Mordor did really good, it was never that big AAA game that everyone was waiting for. It was more on the level of your Titanfall 2s. So I am concerned that this could definitely hinder the amount of sales that they do right away. And potentially, what happens with this is if publishers don't see a big jump in their sales, if they don't see a ton of enthusiasm and like everyone and their grandma's picking up this video game, then they can kind of get it in their head that the series isn't really worth it. And that was a concern I had with the original game as well. And I was actually concerned that we wouldn't ever get a sequel to it because it didn't necessarily do as well as they usually expect games like Battlefield or whatever game it is to do. Although, on the flip side as well, it's entirely possible they're becoming a bit more confident in Middle-earth as a series. So the first game, Shadow of Mordor, was kind of like the redheaded stepchild for a while. You know, it was hidden away. We didn't get a whole lot of gameplay footage of it. They didn't send out review copies until right before the game came out or right after it came out. So it was very clear that WB was a little bit skeptical about it, and then it got really good reviews. So maybe they came into this one a little bit skeptical as well. but now they're kind of figuring out that, yeah, people really do like the original game, so they're looking forward to the sequel. Maybe they've gotten more praise than they thought the game would from maybe closed testings or feedback they've received, so that could be a boost to their confidence in saying, yeah, we want to take on Assassin's Creed, or we want to give these guys a little bit more time so that we get even better reviews when the game does release. So those are the two avenues you can kind of take. I'm personally leaning towards the first one. I think that it's mostly due to them trying to smooth out the performance a little bit, and I do think that it coming out in October is going to hurt its sales, but this is also the type of game that can do really well, say, 8 months afterwards, when word of mouth starts happening a bit more and people say, like, oh, I got this really cool game, and I had, like, this big arch nemesis of an orc that I kept fighting over and over and over again. They tell that really cool story, and then the game goes on sale on, like, the Steam Spring Sale or whatever, and then it really bumps up the sales for the game. So I feel like that could happen, but it's nonetheless kind of iffy to see it get released in that really busy time window. So we gotta wait a couple more months, and I'm fine with that. Again, I don't really care about sales, because I just want a really good game at the end of the day. So, you know, if we get a slightly better one, all good, and I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. And we will be getting some more stuff at E3 as well, so head back to my channel when that happens to hear my thoughts on it. I'll probably get to it, hopefully, and stuff. I'm a little busy right now, to be honest. Anyways, let me know what you think about this delay. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Tell me in the comment section, tell me on Twitter, or join my Discord and talk to me over there. I am PattyJack. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day.